Well, hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are hanging out today we're going to do some hobbying. We're going to be doing some Star Wars Legion miniatures, maybe some Shatterpoint miniatures as well. And I'm going to I just wanted to, Sunday, kind of got a lot of stuff done this weekend, and sit down and do some hobbying, have a good time with you guys, and chat a little bit, and kind of go over my process a little bit. I'm going to be using some of this Vallejo earth texture, and lots of other little bits, leaves and grass and rocks and all kinds of weird things. I've done some videos before on how I do basing, and we're gonna have some fun with it. So I've got my jar of rocks here, and it should be fun. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you just jump into the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you guys are working on today, and maybe we'll do some Q&A, and have a good time with it. I'm gonna switch over to the new setup here, and here we go. We got some of our Ewoks here. I've been doing some painting lately. I think these were the last guys that I had yet to do, and I did not want to do the Ewoks. I don't see myself ever really wanting to run Ewoks, but then I thought about the Chewbacca and the ATST, and I was like, I haven't even tried that yet. And so, it was something that was calling out to me, and I said, you've got these guys, you got to finish them. So between these guys, and I had like Cad Bane also for Shatterpoint. I had to get that box done, and then I was gonna be like totally done with my backlog, and then I went ahead and I picked up Psylocke and Emma Frost from Marvel Crisis Protocol. I picked this up here, so I haven't even opened this yet. So just when I was done with my backlog, I went and got more. So it's never ending. What's going on, Julian? Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. But we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a good time today. So basically, I'm gonna take my earth texture, and this is really thick. This is like mud. So what we're gonna do with this, we're gonna apply this. We're gonna get like a brush that's just so I don't know if you guys can see like the brush I'm using here. Like this brush is not a good painting brush. This is a brush that used to be nice that I haven't taken care of. It's one of those reasons why you don't want to take care of your brushes. Deliberately let your nice brushes turn into garbage, because then you'll have have some brushes that you can use for garbage projects. If you don't have any garbage, then you're not gonna have any garbage projects. Now at the end, what I'm hoping to get is a variety of different things. So here's like Savage Opress. Let me move some of these guys out of the way. I'm hoping it'll look a little something like him here. He's got a little bit of a lot of stuff. So we've started with some of the Vallejo texture, and we've added some grass to it and some rocks. That's one of the things I'll sometimes do. I also did a different approach with Mother Talzin here. She's got skulls on her base. I don't think I did any grass, or not as much grass, but I had a little extra of the paint that went onto her magic to kind of have that going on. So that one was like that. And then we've got Queen Amidala, who has a whole lot more stuff going on here. So Queen Amidala has the grass. She has some tufts, and then we also did some water, and the water is interesting. You kind of have to wait for everything to dry before you can do water, but yeah. So and then I'll use a UV resin, and I have my little light, and I'll put some of that on there, but I'll paint it blue beforehand. Sometimes I'll do multiple layers, and if I want to have like the ripples, I did that same effect with like that Handmaiden expansion. I did a lot of that, and so I like to change it up a little bit. But yeah, so all of my little handmaidens and stuff have a little bit of water. They're like fighting lakeside. So And then for other Legion stuff, there's bigger tufts I can use. There's Mando right there. And then sometimes you can even paint the Vallejo texture before you put it in. You can add some coloring to it. Like you see Bosk here, he's got, like his was mostly dark. And then IG over here gave him more alien kind of looking texture. But this is all kind of just from using a texture paint to go around on the base. Now, some people will like to do their miniatures, like do their bases separately, and like they don't glue the miniatures on. I am not one of those people. I absolutely have to glue my miniatures on first, and that's one of the reasons why I like this Vallejo texture. What's going on, Ray and Ian? Good morning from New Zealand. Oh, awesome! You're painting some range troopers right now. Oh, fantastic! They're fun. They're nice models. I really like them. I do like them a lot. Okay, so I've got a lot on my brush here, as you can see. And we're gonna go, I'm gonna do one at a time. Start with this guy. And we're gonna go, I like to clump it on a little bit. And some folks like to, like if you ever watch like the AMG streams, like they'll, like, and a lot of, actually most paint streamers, not just AMG, but a lot of people will put their minis on like a bottle cap or something like that. I just hold the minis. I don't care if I get stuff on my hands. And it's hard for me. It's one of the reasons I don't do as many paint streams, because I'll pick them up and then I'll be like up here and I'll do stuff like this. But I'm like, oh, I have to hold it on the camera. Hold on a second, you know. So I need like a camera that just shifts all the time, because I am all over the place with it. So it's very hard for me to actually do this. But yes, so we get this a brush that's relatively fine. And I got some of my junk cloths right here, because you need to clean it off eventually. This paint is so thick, it's going to get all over the place. And the cool thing about the thick paint is that you get all these ripples in the effect. So you're going to have a very non-flat type of texture, and you can control it. You can thin this out. I usually have to thin this out, but this time it's going on pretty good. Depending on how careful, like how close their feet are together, I'll thin it out sometimes even more. But yeah, so there we go. It's as simple as that. So that's just one. And I'm going to show you like the next step in the process. I'm going to just do one first, and then a lot of times what I would do is I'd batch paint these. I'll do a couple at a time. So I've got this bag of flock. It's just ultra fine. It's almost like green flour. And I have a little bin here, and I'll sprinkle some of this on the miniature. So let me see if I can. Not gonna work. Like so. And I'll go. Right, and I'll shake it. And then he ends up like that. I'll do it a little more. I don't think my camera's going to actually get in there. So let me try it a little more deliberately. Put it on a little thicker. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Now, what happens is I end up getting it all over the model. He's got a little bit of grass all stuck to him. But since there's nothing sticky on the actual miniature itself, that'll just blow right off. And so then I can just take it in here, kind of shake it, bang it against the side a little bit, and set them down. Now that's still wet, even though the stuff on top is dry, but this is a great opportunity to add extra things. So here we can take rocks and leaves and extra little tufts. This guy, I'll give him a rock. Put it right there. And this is, you can also go back and with your brush, and you can kind of mess it up a little bit if you want some of the dirt to be showing. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I'll get a little extra of the dirt and put it, make a bigger chunk there for the rock to kind of rest in, because it's going to dry, and the more it's kind of cradled with that material, the more that will kind of naturally adhere it to the base. You know, and so we can do a couple of rocks. We can do some tufts. I'm going to get some flowers. These are going to be from Shadow's Edge Miniatures. They give me some little flowery tufts. And these will come on a sheet, kind of like so. And we're gonna have some fun here. I'm gonna get some yellows. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move my rocks out of the way. And sometimes it's good to use something like tweezers to go with these, but I'm not using those today. I'm just using my fingers. There we go. I'll just use the back of a paintbrush to kind of press some of those down. Now you can glue these down. Oh gosh, that one's stuck to my brush. Okay, well, that one will not come off of my brush now, so I'm going to get a replacement tuft for that one. But yeah, you can definitely use super glue on these, but I like putting them down early because then they'll naturally adhere to the material once the material is done. So there we go. We've got one Ewok mostly done. I also like to run my thumb like kind of around the miniature, and just in case, because sometimes you'll get a little bit of basing material kind of on the side, and there you go. So he is good, and we'll do it. Now I can do a couple more. I can kind of batch paint a few of them, and you get kind of the idea. There's all kinds of, you can have all kinds of fun with it. You can. There's also these leaves that I've got here. There's this bag of leaves, and like I can sprinkle some of these on there. You know, and you have all kinds of stuff. Like you can see that I've sprinkled some leaves. This is all the extra flock that it catches all of my green grass. So yeah, what's going on, everybody in the chat? We're doing some fun, some basing today. We're gonna be doing some, trying to get through all of the Ewoks. But yeah, Julian, you wish you could paint like me, man. I don't paint that great, but I appreciate the compliment. I mean, it's hard for me to, even hear something like that when I'm surrounded by so many amazing painters. I see like folks like Sarastro and I'm blown away by some of the stuff that's out there. But I'll say this: doesn't matter how good you can paint. I've got some that are like I really sped through, like this guy. Like I'm not really super happy with him, but I don't think I'm ever gonna run this guy anyway. So I did him super quick and easy. And all it takes is practice and time. Just work on it and have fun with it. As long as you can find a way to enjoy what you're doing, it doesn't matter how good it ends up coming out. But I guess it does matter a little bit. You kind of I always like it better when my stuff comes out better. But, it happens. It comes with time. But yeah. Ian says, you're pretty lazy when it comes to basing. Sometimes you'll do it months after a full paint job. Sometimes, that can happen. I've had stuff like that I've spent. Some of my Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff, I've had some that I started and then never went back and finished, and I just recently finished most of those. So that's been wild. Keith says, I've never played Legion, but the Ewoks have me interested. Do you have any suggestions on the best way to start with Ewoks? Well, frankly, I don't think it's required to get any more than one Ewok. I just bought the one expansion, and because you have to have, to run the Ewok, the Bright Tree Village Battle Force, you have to have one Ewok. You don't need any more than that, but you can have more if you want to. That's my thought, because then you can still run like Leia and Han and Chewbacca. You can run Chewbacca in the ATST. You can run 2 Rebel Troopers. You can run 2 Rebel Commandos. So if you've already got some Rebels, you've already got a lot of stuff that you can use to fill out that battle force. Now granted, I think Ewoks can run like very high activation stuff. So you could run an awful lot of Ewoks if you wanted to buy all of those, but I don't like buying a whole lot of Ewoks. I don't like buying a whole lot of stuff that can only work for a single battle force, if that makes sense. Because then you have like the Shadow Collective situation where there's this battle force that's not going to get anything else. Well, I hope it does, but there's nothing announced for it. It'd be great if they did, but I really don't see the Ewoks getting anything new. It's not like they're going to do a Return of the Jedi Part 2 and, I'll suddenly find a whole bunch of Ewok heroes that were canon. I mean, I know there were those 2 movies, but those aren't canon right now, and the games kind of gravitate towards stuff that's canon. So I just don't see a whole lot more happening with Ewoks to that'll make it. Gliders, maybe. I'm surprised they didn't do gliders. But I don't know, man. I guess we're gonna see. AMG does some weird stuff sometimes, like with some of these battle forces. Like I thought the big part of the battle forces was to be able to add more to them, like where they had teased that, oh yeah, you'll be able to add Ahsoka to the 501st whenever she comes out. And when was that? It was years ago. We haven't seen her, so like they have battle forces as this amazing mechanism, and I think they should be adding more units to existing battle forces. I think the rebels should get like General Riken and stuff like that. I think they should be doing that stuff. But with the Ewoks, I just don't think there's a whole lot of room for them to add more stuff. They're probably one of the narrowest battle forces when it comes to expandability. So that's my thoughts there. I don't know. I could be wrong. There could be. I mean, because there were other Ewoks. Like they didn't do a Chief Chirpa yet, right? So you could do Chief Chirpa. You could do the gliders, I guess. But it's also like the longer it takes, are they fun to play with? I haven't played with them yet, man. These guys aren't based yet. I don't run troops that I haven't finished. Like I don't like to run anything that's not painted yet. So I don't know if they're fun. Thematically, I don't think they're that cool. Like I don't like taking Ewoks up against stormtroopers and stuff like that. I think the only reason that they won is because it was by surprise. But in Legion, it's not really a surprise. It's like, all right, a standing army is going up against another standing army. I think if you told the Empire's finest troops that they were going to take on the natives, they'd have been prepared for that. But the fact that they were kind of bushwhacked and bamboozled by these little teddy bears is what gave them the advantage. So I don't think taking them in a head-to-head fight in Star Wars Legion is really going to feel thematic to me. Whereas the Gungans, on the other hand, stood tall, stood proud, and like dress lined up and said, we're going to take on this army of B-1 battle droids. Even if it looks like our technology is insufficient, we're going to stand tall and face them down, Star Wars Legion style. And that's why the Gungans need to show up, man. I have a feeling they're coming. I have a feeling that we'll see that at Mini-Stravaganza. Or at least get some hints. They've got to be coming. Gungans would be the greatest thing ever for Legion. I'd go crazy. That'd be one of those, like, pre-order me 6. I'm having a full Gungan army, and I'm just going to put all of my other miniatures away. And I will just run the Gungan army, even if it's broken, even if it doesn't work. I will run the Gungan army, and I will run it a lot. That's my thought going in. Bushwhacked, bamboozled, and eaten. Oh yeah, I guess they did eat some stuff. The Ewoks were definitely carnivores, though. I mean, we see that. They had human clothing that fit Leia, so they had eaten a woman, or at least someone that had a dress that fit Leia. So that's pretty telling. The Ewoks were pretty vicious. Have you guys ever played Star Wars Battlefront 2? They had that Ewok attack mode. Not Ewok attack, Ewok attack. That was pretty funny. I never knew how to react to stuff like that because I watched Return of the Jedi as a kid, and the Ewoks were always kind of cute and beloved and sweet, and like when I was very young, Ewok merchandise was targeted towards me. Ewok teddy bears and things of that sort. All right, that's 5 done. I'm gonna, since we're doing this in a batch, I'll do these, and then I'll come back and do the. I've got 4 more that haven't started yet, but I don't want all of this to dry. So I'm gonna get my flock here. All right. Put these guys in there. We're doing it. We're getting them ready. Camera angle's a little. There we go. All right. Trying to get them all covered nicely. Oh yeah. Okay. Got to add a little more. A little more. Okay, okay. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Gotta shake them off. Shake it off. Shake it off. All right, let's see how that came out. All right. Not too bad. Not too bad. So that was, and that was pretty quick. That was pretty quick, and that's just the start. We've got more we can do. We can put rocks on there. We can mess up, add a little dirt. We can, and if you're going to do an acrylic for water, like I've got here on this Handmaiden, you want to keep that in mind when you're putting on the texture, because you want to glob it up to create like a shoreline with a sunken area on the other side of the base. Because when you're pouring this resin in, it's liquid and it's going to flow, so you need to create like a natural dune. So you want to keep that in mind. Sometimes when I'm done, I'll take my brush and I'll just scrape it across. Maybe I'll demonstrate that a little bit on one of the other ones. All right, where's my... all right, we're going to get some more... of these yellow flowers. Put a little yellow. Oh, no, not for low grade. So what I'll do is I'll take the heroes, like Wicket and low gray. I'll give them something a little different. I'll give them a different color, perhaps, so that they stand out a little more. Yeah. How's everybody's weekend going so far? Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Let me get back to the chat here in just a second. Oh, that one fell off. All right, there we go. Let's see. Keith says, I was hoping to see the glider and maybe some speeders from them. Perhaps C-3PO on his throne. Yeah, they already have C-3PO, but he's a pain in the butt to get. There's no like cheap option to get C-3PO. Your friend ran an Ewok attack event once at a local conventions in VA. It was a popular game at the con. He used rules from a modern near future skirmish game. Oh, cool. Cool. All right, so those are these guys. Now I was going to do a different color. Wicket, I'll give the pink ones 2. Let me see here. I'll change that one up a little bit. No, yeah. No. That's better. Okay. Like that. Then we'll get one more for the front. Okay. And what I'll do also when I'm done is, like you'll see here for Wicket, he's got little bits of flock that like are on the tree. I'll just take another dry brush and come by and like take all that off. It'll come right off of him, but I don't want to like sneeze on him or something like that and make it stick. So there he is. Okay. Yeah. All right, we're getting there. I gotta do low gray. All right. Anybody do anything fun today, or is today like a lazy day for you guys? I always like lazy Sundays. But we got up kind of early, went to the pool this morning, took the kids, did a little swimming. And oh my goodness, that just came right out. Now another thing that I'm going to do when I'm done with these guys, I come back over with a matte varnish, a spray of matte varnish, and that's naturally sticky too. So that also is another path to adhere, and we'll kind of lock a lot of this stuff down to the bases. All right, we've got 4 more Ewoks. And there's a couple other steps too, like once I'm all done, I'll take some black paints and I'll go around the edges and paint the rims around them black or whatever color scheme I'm going for. You know, lazy day, just a little work around the house. Yeah. Assembling RCs today. RCs. What's RCs? Range troopers? No. Republic Commandos? Okay, all right. So I'm assuming you mean by the clone commandos, the Republic Commandos for RCs. I'm assuming that. I'm gonna go with that. If not, then you're assembling radio conventions for remote constables, for radical choo-choo trains, which would be really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing radical choo-choo trains. All right. So, like, for this one, that I'm working on right here, if he were, for example, if I was going to put water up here, like, I'd want to see how I'm like creating the natural dune or like this curve in the texture. I want it to be lowest right there, and then I would push it back, so this way I would naturally keep the acrylic resin, the liquid form of it, from going up too high and getting out of control. Easier to do that on larger bases, when you have a lot more empty space, for sure. Kyle says yes. Okay, Republic Commandos it is. Or was that a yes to the radical choo-choo trains? I'm gonna go ahead and assume he's assembling radical choo-choo trains, kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Radical. Look at that choo-choo train, Donatello. Yeah, Michelangelo, that's awesome. After all, I do machines. Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. Which is the laziest way to say that he was the smart one, right? He does machines. There's so many jokes about that line. Any Ninja Turtles fans here from the old cartoon? That's a fact, Jack. I want to say, wasn't it Corey Feldman that did Donatello's voice? Or it was just in the movie, right? That was fun stuff. And it's okay if you get a little bit of dirt, like on their legs or whatever. If your basic material gets on there a little bit, it's totally cool because they're running through the dirt. They're running through the mud. Paladin Sass, what's going on? Hobby chat, yeah, we're basing Ewoks today. We're basing Ewoks. I'm using Vallejo Earth texture. We're just chatting, having a good time. Love to see what you guys are up to. A lot of times when I do this stuff, I'm in here, I'm just like listening to an audiobook. I've been listening to Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. I finished that one up. Well, Era 1 and Era 2 are all done, and I'm all caught up with Mistborn. And, of course, and then I'm also all caught up with Stormlight Archive, and with a lot of that stuff. So, been reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson lately. And then it was time to move on to... I like to do fiction and nonfiction. And I'll say this, I was a little disappointed because I picked up another audiobook, and it was an astrophysics book, but I was a little annoyed because as the guy was reading it and talking about stuff with space and everything that we know and blah, 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 I come to realize I think this book was written in like the 1990s. Because he's like, we won't know until the year 2003 what lies beyond Pluto and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, come on. I think it was with regard to like where the Voyager was and what photos it's taken so far. And granted, a lot of the fundamentals of what they're talking about have not changed in like the last 25 years or so. But I still kind of want my science books to be a little more up to date with the latest and greatest. But it's okay. It just means, oh no! Oh no, my Ewok came off the base! Oh no! It happened live. Alright, well then this one's gonna be real easy. We're just gonna go. Oh no, I broke him. I broke him. Oh no, I don't know. I'm just gonna throw these Ewoks away now. Screw it. The whole live stream is a wash. Broke the miniature on the thing. I can't handle it. Because no super glue isn't going to stick on a basing material. I'm not going to drill a hole through it and put a metal steel rod in it for an Ewok. I'm not going to do all that. I'll probably just tie him down with a rubber band and be like, that's the broken Ewok that I'm not going to use because I'm never taking the personnel upgrade on the Ewok unit. Broke him. For crying out loud. He's broken. I'm a little dramatic. It's not really that big a deal. It's really not that big of a deal. I got some super glue right here. We'll try it. We'll see what happens. It's not going to work. It's not going to be good. But we'll try it. All right. All right. We're going to just sprinkle on our grass. Boop, 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 boop. All right. Take that out. Simple as that. A little green flock. I'll give this guy some rocks. He's got to get yellow flowers too, doesn't he? How many more yellow flowers I have? Not that many. All right, there's one. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right, this guy's gonna go something like right there. Okay, let's try. Ugh, super glue. I hate super glue. All right, sir. Get in there. You're not gonna You're not gonna stay. I just dropped all my yellow flowers. All right, there we go. He's done. Get over there. Ah. Okay. Now this guy. Same thing. Put you in there. And do. Alright. Tap him off. He's good. We got 2 more. Almost done with the Ewoks. Alright. Tap, tap. And tap, tap. This flock lasts forever. I've had this one bag of green flock for years. Years. I've done all of my Age of Sigmar stuff with it. And I've got so much left. I think it's a lifetime supply if you use it right. I mean, geez Louise. That's a lot. Okay. Alright, let's see what I do with my flowers. Alright, we get some flowers on these dudes. You're gonna run right there. Alright. The yellow flowers. And this guy. I'm gonna get some right on the side. There. Alright. Who else needs yellow flowers? This guy does. Alright. Get in there. Nice and good. Okay. I think that's about it. Let's see. And then there, and there. That is all of the Ewoks. They are done and based. So then I'm gonna let them dry, and then I'll go around the sides and hit them with some black paint around the rim. And yeah, we went from nothing to complete. And gosh, how long was that? Like 20 minutes? Ish? You know, I don't know. 38, no, it was more than that. It was almost 40 minutes. Okay. But we did some chatting too. So yeah, it's not a hard process. Pretty easy. Pretty cool stuff. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. I want to thank you guys for hanging out today, and we got a really cool, fun video tomorrow. So you don't want to miss that one. I will talk to you guys later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other, and have a great day.